Hey guys, Jedi Marine here. Now, this video may come across as a little late, considering it's April of 2018. But I wanted to do a kind of a motivational recap, if you will. Mainly motivating for me. I don't know if it's so much motivating for you. But I wanted to do a recap of my year because 2017 had some crazy twists and turns to it. It really did. And frankly, I don't know how else to describe it. There are some points when I was over the moon, excited, happy. And there were some points when I thought the world was ending. So let's just do it. Let's just dive into it. 2017. It's a year that I will never forget. For better or worse, I will never forget. So in late January, early February, my wife and I found out that we were pregnant. And at that point, we didn't know that it was going to be with our incredible daughter, which I'm sure you guys have seen pictures. Her name is Emma. She is awesome, and I love her. Between her and the boys, I don't love them. Those three, that combination, there's nothing that beats them out. I love them more than anything. And sorry, turn that down just a little bit. It was an awesome time. It was a nerve-wracking time for quite a few reasons, which you'll find out here in the next few minutes. But I was excited. And we were hoping for a girl, we were praying for a girl, and that's what ended up happening. And it was a crazy time. Truly a crazy time. But then, end of February came. Last day of February. I was at work, doing my work as a security officer. Just doing my thing, driving around, and I got a phone call from my mom, which was pretty out of the ordinary. We, as a family, we were like, we loved each other, we cared for each other, but we weren't overly close. If that makes sense. And I got a phone call from my mom. It was about 10:30 in the morning or so, maybe 11. And as I saw her name on my phone, it struck me as odd, right? But you're not automatically thinking the worst with a lot of this stuff. And so I answered to my mom in this eerily calm voice. She said, "Hey, Michael, we're still getting the details. And the Air Force is still contacting me. If the Air Force is going to get back to me, but It sounds like your brother David has killed himself. And they're gonna let me know for sure, but that's kind of the info that I have now. And frankly, I was just stunned. At the time, I responded a lot better than, frankly, I anticipated that I would. You know, even looking back now, I'm like, man, I was pretty calm. All things considered, I kind of got, I got this like feeling in my body, like, you know how you hear when people like go to surgery and like they die in the surgery, that they kind of float and like they look at their body and they can like see it. It was almost like that. Like I felt disconnected from myself, and I remember that I called my mom, I called my wife, and I generally at that time didn't call her during work very often, like ever, really. And so she answered right away, which is uncommon for her if you knew her at all. She's a very work focused. When she's at work, she busts out her work, and which is totally 100% respectable. But anyway, she answered right away, and I told her what my mom had told me. My wife immediately started crying, and she told me, she asked me if I was okay. I told her I didn't know. I'm fine. More like to clarify to her that I'm not going to do anything dumb. I'm not going to hurt myself, because of the news that I just got. And that's never been my thing. Been through some pretty crappy times, but that's never been anything that I've ever considered. I love life too much. And so anyway, I made it clear to her that wasn't anything she had to worry about, and that I was going to meet her at my mom's house, which is only about 10 minutes from where I worked. And so I did. I went in and told my boss what had happened, and he was great. If he for somehow ever stumbles upon my channel and finds it, just want to say thank you. Because he really was cool. I texted my coworkers, the 2 out of the 3 that were other than me that were working, that I'm still good friends with, and I let them know what was going on. Because when somebody bails, when there's only 4 people working and one of those people bail, kind of adds to the workload of the rest of the group. And so I ended up, I texted them and then I left. I grabbed my shit, and I hopped in my truck and I went to my mom's, and it was kind of a weird deal because it was just us there. My mom, my dad, myself, and my brother Eric ended up getting there, and then my wife showed up too. It's kind of a surreal situation because it's not anything that any of us had ever anticipated having to go through, and frankly, I don't think it's something that anyone ever anticipates going through, right? And so, doing so, it was such a kick to the nuts. But we ended up getting through it, and the Air Force confirmed that he hadn't showed up to work that day. It was February 28th, which is a Tuesday, if I remember right. And let's see. Yep, it was a Tuesday. February 28th, 2018, or 2017. Sorry, and so outside the Air Force kind of confirming he hadn't shown up to work, and so the military police ended up getting dispatched to go check at his place, and they got into his house, and they found him. And this isn't really anything I've talked about. Outside of a quick video when this happened, it's not something that I've talked to a lot of people about. Especially you guys, right? Like, I do want to thank the guys and gals. I'm not really sure who responded to that call, but you know, I've been on these calls, and finding somebody in that state's no fun. Every one of those calls sucks, because kind of, especially going from where I've been, kind of being there in their shoes. I get it. It's your family member, it's your brother or your sister or whoever. And it sucks. So those calls, yeah, they suck quite a bit. But they found him and confirmed that he had shot himself. And I know they took good care of him. And from there, I mean, kind of moving beyond that, we my sister and my brother ended up going to North Carolina, where he was stationed. I can't recall the name of the Air Force base offhand, but in March we went there, and they had a ceremony for him, which is awesome. was pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to see the effect that he had on people. Like airmen of every rank, up to and including the base commander, came down and offered their condolences to us at the base, and kind of gave little kind of short stories of how he affected them. Man, I could go on forever about the kind of person that he was and the stories that they told, like when he literally took his pants and shirt off for a jacket, like heavy duty like winter jacket off for a homeless couple that had nothing. Of a roommate of his whose wife cheated on him, and he ended up giving that guy all of his furniture. He gave him all his furniture, gave him everything that he had almost, so that guy, because the guy's ex-wife took everything. And that's like how it's supposed to be, right? Like that's what you do for people, and that's who my brother was. And that's good. I wanted a little on it. And yeah, so then later that month we ended up having his funeral, which was no fun, right? But it was a full military funeral. We met his body at Portland Airport in Portland, Oregon. And not only was the Air Force there, but the Marines there. There's the honor guard by the bikers, who were absolutely fantastic. There was Portland Fire was there. I think Tualatin Fire was there. The airport fire was there. They showed up in their rigs and just meant a lot. It was a pretty tough night. But the next day or so, we ended up having the funeral service for him, actually, and that went really well. The Air Force again came out, the honor guard on their bikes came out, and they did a great job. They really honored his service. He did 10 years, just shy of 10 years in the Air Force. It was good. It was good. I mean, I'll never forget it, you know? And the one plus out of this whole situation was that my family and I have we got a lot closer. Like my parents and I, we spend a lot of time together now compared to, before. I hang out with my brother. We try to get together once a month, have a drink, go out shooting, whatever. And it's been really good in that sense, because we've really grown together in ways that I didn't think that we could do. Except that's just not how my family operates, right? Like we kind of stick to our own thing, and It's gotten better. But then, in early April, mid-April, I found out that I got hired as a firefighter, as a probationary firefighter. And it was insanely good news. I'd been working for years, as you guys know, if you followed this channel for any stretch of time or watched my Twitch streams or any of that sort of thing. You've known that this has been a huge thing for me because I'd worked really hard to get that. Interviewed all over the place and finally made it happen. And so I couldn't be happier, right? This is April 24th, 2017. I started my position as a probationary firefighter. Ran through the academy, and the academy was good, but it was a butt kicker because I didn't know how out of shape I was really until I went there against these dudes and gals that were in their early 20s and stuff that just fucking destroyed me physically. But even more than them was just the work, the hose work, the ladder work. Like, who would have guessed dragging a hose through a building would be so fucking tiring? But it really is, man. I'll tell you what, it really is exhausting. Yeah, I got my ass whooped, and like there was times when like right in here, like there was a point where this, get the camera a little better, this whole area, like my whole tattoo area down to almost my elbow, was covered in, it had just been rubbed raw. Both arms had been just rubbed completely raw because of the chafing of just my gear and sweating and being soaked. Because when you're hosing down fire in a building, you get soaked doing it. The water's pouring all over you, especially if you're doing what you're supposed to do, spraying above you, making sure fire doesn't get behind you. It kicks your butt, man, and like so you're soaked, and so that water eventually soaks through your turnouts and it gets all over you, and you're just rubbing and chafing it raw. And man, I was in some pain. Quite a few of those weeks there, man, I was hurting. And I think on a couple of streams I kind of showed off the rawness because, dude, it no bueno. But man, I don't know. It was intense. We did that. We went and did our live fire out in Tri-Cities. We did, which was good. We got a lot of good live fire. We got to do some really good search and rescue stuff. And I'm grateful for it all. No matter how much you kick my butt, like, who cares if you kick your ass, right? Like, that's in the past. That's for past me to worry about being tired. It's all good. But I got through the academy, made it through after some rough weeks where I did not want to get up. And kind of the good thing and like suffering with those group of guys and gal was that it brought us really close together. We're all pretty good friends now. And one of the guys, he was in the Marine Corps as well. Part of it during the same time when I was, so we got that. And he's probably my best friend out of the whole group of 12 of us that went through, and we hang out quite a bit, go get a beer and some food, whatever. And it helped knowing that everybody else was sucking. Because there was mornings, man, when I got up and I'm like, dude, fuck this. This is atrocious. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go, especially on those days when I was hurting. And then I knew that I had 8 hours of just getting my ass fucking handed to me. No fun. No fun whatsoever. But it was worth it. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, I mean, we made it through. We graduated. We made it to the line. And since then, I've just been do my probation thing, and it's gone well. I'm off of probation now. I made it through a week. What's today? Thursday, Monday. It'll be 2 weeks. Oh God, since I made it through, and so now I'm a full-time permanent firefighter. So the way firefighting works, if you didn't know, and this applies to other jobs too, but firefighting is the one I have experience with, is that you have a probationary period. How that probation works differs from department to department, but ours was once we get off probation, we had 9 more months. Once we got out of the academy, we had 9 more months of probation to basically prove that we deserve to be there. And what probation is that your union, your department's not going to really protect you if you fuck up something. And so you could be let go like that. And that's the case, man. People have been fired pretty easily in the past for just some dumb shit. And so it's a stressful time because, I mean, as you guys know, I have the wife, and now I have the 3 kids. And I didn't know really if I had a job. Like, the job was there and I was working it, but it wasn't mine until I passed probation. And then up until that point, I had 2 kids. I had my 2 boys, and then I ended up having my little girl Emma, who I love her. I post pictures of her, in my Instagram and stuff, and it was very stressful not knowing if I'd be able to provide for her. And luckily I figured that I could probably maybe get my job back at the port where I had worked as security. But none of that was set. None of that was guaranteed. And so then I had Emma, and it was amazing. I took that shift off and just hung out with her. I just did. I just held her. Something that I hadn't really done with my boys. I loved them, but I was a pretty crappy dad. For when they were like little tiny humans. I love them more than anything, and I would do absolutely anything for them. But I was crappy in the sense that I didn't really take time to absorb and appreciate the little baby time that I have with them. Because now my boys are 7 and 6, which is, it's insane to me. My oldest boy will be 8 in October. 5 months from now, he'll be 8 years old. And holy shit, it's crazy. And so I vowed to not make that mistake again that I made with my boys. So I've really been doing my best to spend as much time with my little girl as I can, and hang out with her and really appreciate those moments. And the good thing is now that I work 2, maybe 3 days a week now, so I get a lot of time to hang out with her, which is top tier stuff. Tell you what, it's definitely one of the benefits to the firefighting gig is that that you get a lot of time to hang out with family. And then Christmas came, my birthday came, I turned 31 November, and Thanksgiving and all that came, Christmas, and I actually got lucky. I had Christmas and Christmas Eve off this last year, 2017. This coming year, 2018, I work both, which is oh well, part of the deal. But yeah, in terms of calls, I've had some. Most of the calls, luckily, have been, pretty bland, just kind of your run-of-the-mill stuff. Had some pretty sad calls. Calls that kind of hit you later because, I mean, that's the good thing about the job, and maybe it's just me, but it seems like this applies to everybody kind of that I work with, is that during the call, regardless of what it is, you know, regardless of how sad it is or you know, how it may affect you down the road, everybody really works, right? Like, everybody gets the job done. They get in there and they fucking kick their own ass, and they do what they need to do to help the citizens of our community. And after the fact, that stuff may hit you pretty hard. And some of the calls, nothing's hit me to the point where I'm like, can't work, you know. But there's definitely been some pretty sad calls, because people get a pretty shitty hand dealt to them. And I mean, it's made me more appreciative of what I got and the family and kind of the life that I have. But yeah, I mean, you know, part of this job and part of the deal is that you get those crappy calls and you move on from them. You got to be able to, because if you let every call hit you in every kind of weird, crappy situation, you wouldn't be able to do this job for very long at all. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty chill early year. My youngest turned 6 in March, and then I got off probation April 24th of this year. And it's been awesome. I love it. I have a career now. I have a job that I can look forward to. And I couldn't be more grateful. This past year has thrown me some of the craziest curves you could possibly imagine. Just been great, and I'm grateful. I really, truly am, because no matter what life throws at you, you have to just keep going. I wish my brother had seen that. I wish he had known that. But I can't change what's happened. I love him more than anything. And I hope that he has finally found peace. Wherever he is. But thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching. If I'm going to end on any note, it's going to be kind of hitting hard on the situation that my brother faced. And if you get to that point in your life, do not implement a very permanent solution to a temporary problem. Because my brother did, and there's no coming back from it. And I don't wish that upon anybody else in this entire world. It's a crappy, crappy thing. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Semper Fi. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. If you liked it, toss that like button down below, smash it up, and subscribe if you liked it even more. And if not, let me know why you didn't like it. You know, you say you're ugly or you're mean or something, and I will work on it. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Catch you next time.